Hey guys, and welcome back to Cozy Tea. This is Rob, and thank you once again for tuning into my YouTube channel. It is a wonderful cold Thursday, and I have some more art for you. So as usual, cozy up, get a snack and a cup of tea, and let's talk about some art stuff. In today's video, I have a Christmas drawing. I know it's the second week of November, but hear me out, it's time. We've had the year of years, and I'm ready for some goddamn jolly cheer and a story. I said to myself, what's more lit than some bells? So we got some bells, some red bells decked out in some gold trim, looking real fancy, and a nice bright green bow just to tie it all together. I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out, and if you're on my Instagram, which you probably are, you saw it already. So thanks for watching the video anyway. But this looks really cool. I decided to use 4 different types of medium. So I used watercolor for the bells and the bow. And then for the gold trim, I used a gold Sharpie, which is a really nice Sharpie. It goes over the paint really well, and I didn't have any issues drawing on top of the watercolor, which it was just so smooth, and I was able to layer it too because there were some parts that I needed to touch up and I didn't see any issues with tearing the paper or anything. So I was really happy about that. And some of the highlights, I used a white gel pen and then also a white Posca pen, and that's also what the outline is a Posca pen. I wasn't originally going to do that, but I'm really happy that I did. It turned out really bold, and normally I use a micron size 3 for my outlines. So using a Posca pen, which actually, let me check real quick. These ones are 1.3 millimeters. So I don't know the metric system because I'm American, but it's bigger than a micron size 3. I'm not used to a bold outline, but I'm living for the bold outline. It pops real nice and it holds the color in really well. It also separates the actual image from the paper, and I didn't feel like I needed to do a background with this. I have a really hard time when it comes to art thinking about what to put in the background, and sometimes I just like to leave the back of it white, and I've learned just now that if you use a bold outline, that's a way to leave the background blank. I mean, I did add that little frame around, which you'll see at the end, but it looks really nice and it looks like a sticker, and that was definitely the look that I was going for. I wasn't trying to do any realistic anything with this. I just wanted like a solid, bright, colorful Christmas piece. I'm feeling this one. Every so often I do something, and this didn't even take that long. I think I was working on this for about an hour, and it just turned out really well. It didn't require a whole lot of time or effort. I just had a really fun time, and yesterday was kind of a weird day. I wasn't feeling too great, so when I did this, it put a pep in my step. And I was like, yeah, I feel better now. And I had a really great night after that. So that goes to show you don't have to do a whole lot to get a really good result and to feel a little bit better and to be a little bit more confident. I think I'm going to do a lot of Christmas stuff this year. I'm really excited for Christmas. I don't know why. It's so weird this year with the way everything's going. But the thing is Christmas has never been about presents for me. I don't mind getting stuff, and obviously like that's fun, but just the bright colors and the ambiance and the aesthetic of Christmas, I just love everything about it. It's the same way some people love Halloween, which I don't like, but Halloween is not my thing. Christmas is my thing. So I'm about this. I want to do some real creative work with some bright Christmas colors, and I think I'm going to incorporate Posca pens into my work in the future. As I said before, I'm really excited about how it turned out. That bold outline really stands out to me, and it speaks to me, and it says so much about what I can do with a Posca pen. And I will say the downside to using them is that they're not paper friendly. I'm not entirely sure what a Posca pen is for. I think you can use them on anything basically. I've drawn on my desk, I drew on my lamp, I drew on some glass, and it sticks and it goes on real easy. And it wipes off too. So if you want it to be permanent, you're gonna have to varnish it. But when it comes to paper, it does tear the paper real easy. So it's kind of a one and done kind of thing. You want to be real careful and be gentle and patient. So if you have like a wobbly hand, you want to go like piece by piece and separate your movements, because if you go too fast, it's just going to rip right into the paper. So you definitely want to be careful with this. The nibs on these Posca pens are really rough. I feel like this would be a really good medium on wood. Not like cheap plywood, but if you get like a nice wood block from Michael's, it would probably go on really nice if it's really smooth. So I think wood or metal or glass, especially if you varnish it, it would look really solid. And I definitely might try that out later on this year or next year when I get the opportunity. One other thing that I realized about Posca pens when I was using them, especially with watercolor, and I think this is really important, is that you want to make sure that you let the paint dry, because at the end of the day, a Posca pen is a paint pen, so it does smear, and when you use watercolor, it can bleed into the watercolor, and I had that happen, but I was able to cover it up with more paint because it wasn't completely wet. So it did work out, but the next time I go about this, I definitely need to be more patient and take more time to go through and make sure that everything dries and is appropriate, because it can go wrong real quick. Especially, I know I said briefly in a video before, but you know, watercolors are not very forgiving. So once one color bleeds into another color, that story is written, that book is done, it's ready to be published in a day. But even though there is that difficulty with Posca pens, they are very easy to use in comparison to using a brush. You have the ability to control a very pointed nib and use it as you would a pencil or a pen or a marker, which I do like. It gives you a lot more control over your line work and the ability to make really strong, bold outlines and very strong details that you're trying to get into your picture. So Posca pens, definitely 10 out of 10, would use again. I think that they're really fun and they work well with other mediums, so I might try to use them with Copic markers next just to see what happens. I have a lot of Copic markers and I haven't used them for a long time, an embarrassingly long time considering how much they cost. So I'm very excited to use them, and I think that's what I'm going to do next. I'm definitely going to use my Copic markers. I have a lot of marker paper that I bought on clearance Black Friday last year, so I need to definitely get into that and start using it up. So next piece, certified Copic marker illustration. I'm super hype on that. I miss using them, so I'm excited to get back into it. Just like I said before in one of my previous videos, I definitely want to do more art with different types of medium, just because I don't want it to just be a watercolor channel. I want to be very diverse and talk about diverse topics. So I think Copics will be a nice next step into what this channel has to offer, and I'm excited to take you on this journey with me. With all of that said, guys, I think I'm out of stuff to talk about. This is a short video in comparison to the other ones, but hopefully it fits a nice comfy amount of time for your Thursday evening or whatever day you're watching this. As always, thank you so much for watching and sticking around and seeing what I'm up to. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to stay cozy, stay real, keep your head up. I know these are hard times, but you can do this. I believe in you. Thank you so much. Stay true to yourself, and remember, you are very awesome, always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.